know how it feels, and it's not a great feeling. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the tension between wanting to do an excellent job, but not having the time necessary to produce an excellent job. Good to see you. I'm Dr. Wes, clinical psychologist and advocate for your well-being. There is an old saying, if the job is worth doing, it's worth doing right. And that's well and good if you have the time to ensure doing it right. Now listen to me carefully. Sometimes when you haven't got the time to do something according to the standard or vision that you have in your head, the best thing is to forget about the gold standard and do the job good enough. Now, to all you excellence evangelists and reflexive contrarians out there, I'm not saying this good enough principle applies to brain surgeons or engineers that build space rockets for astronauts. I'm talking about the endeavors that don't involve life and death situations. So stay with me here. We live in a world that glorifies excellence, and I get it. Doing something to an ultra-high standard can lead to outstanding results. Peak performers, they champion excellence as the royal road to your best self. And there's lots of evidence that indicates that doing something well really pays off. So not wanting to miss out on potential success, we make a commitment to ourselves to be excellent in everything that we do. But sometimes it's just not possible to put in the time needed to get an excellent outcome. This past weekend, when I was working out in the gym, I got inspired for the subject for this Friday's video. And the more I thought about it, the more excited I became, and my creative brain just started taking over and thinking up all these design elements and locations, and before I knew it, it was getting really complicated. But then I started to experience anxiety, because I also know that this week I'm flying to Texas and then to New Mexico for a 3-day speaking engagement. And so I had myself a dilemma that you often face. A grand vision is birthed within us, but then we sit down and think about the time involved, and we come to the realization it's going to take much more time than what we have spare. The dilemma for me was that I have made a personal commitment to create an encouraging video to be launched every Friday. And therein lies the tension. I do not have the time to produce an epic video and keep my commitment to delivering by Friday. Sensing I was biting off more than what I could chew in 1 week, I thought about making an exception and missing this Friday. But upon considering that, I thought that's going to make it easier to make an exception for the next time and the next time after that. Oh, it's the war between artistry and consistency, or more classically known as the battle between quality and quantity. When both are important to you, which do you choose? Well, here are 3 guiding principles to help you and me choose wisely. Guiding Principle 1. Don't let your commitment to excellence cost you your mental health. As a clinical psychologist, I see people become miserable in the pursuit of excellence. I want to ask them, why are you doing this to yourself? What's the point? When you find yourself in a situation where you want to achieve a high standard, but you simply do not have the resources required to pull it off, then give yourself some grace. Get off the bus of high expectations and start walking at the speed of self-kindness. Remind yourself that the outcome of excellence should include mental health, physical health, and bring something of benefit to your relationships. Guiding Principle 2. Consistent good enough is better than occasional brilliance. I kind of feel guilty that I wasn't able to deliver to you the epic that I had dreamed up for this week. But if I had gone down that road, I would have started something that I couldn't finish in time, resulting in me not showing up at all. And I want to develop, as much as possible, a reputation for showing up with whatever meal I've been able to whip up in the kitchen of inspiration. And sometimes that meal will be memorably delicious, and other times it will be only good enough to get you through to breakfast. New York Times best-selling author Regina Brett delightfully says it this way: most of life is showing up. You do the best you can, which varies from day to day. Guiding Principle 3. The process of consistently showing up with a good attitude will eventually lead to excellence in outcomes. I wish I could have made that shorter, catchier, more memorable. Anyway, it still is the truth. John Stott, an amazing communicator of mic-dropping truths, once wrote, "You cannot cherry-pick between quality and quantity because true quality always rises out of the context of quantity." That's John Stott gold right there. Long-term success is built upon a foundation of consistency. And that doesn't mean being consistently bad, mind you. It means showing up with a desire to do your best regardless of whatever resources you may or may not have. And yes, when conditions are such that you have the time, then knock yourself out with an epic effort. But some days, just showing up with a good attitude is epic. This could be good for you and for me as well. I'm Dr. Wes. Here's to making life better.